Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Raleigh. We've got another GOP candidate entering the North Carolina U.S. Senate race. Don Brown has entered the crowded GOP primary field. It says a growing national debt and what he calls a lack of physical discipline in Washington is what prompted him to enter North Carolina's, again, increasingly crowded Senate race. Now, he is a Plymouth native, a former JAG officer and federal prosecutor who is running in the Republican primary against several candidates, including Michael Whatley, who has received President Donald Trump's endorsement. Now, the GOP nominee is expected to face former Democratic Governor Roy Cooper in the general election. Now, Brown said his campaign is centered on reducing federal spending and cutting government bureaucracy, arguing the federal government has grown too large. Now, Brown pointed to his background in national security as a qualification for office, citing experience working in the Pentagon and working with conservative leaders, saying, quote, "I've worked in the Pentagon. I've worked with Pete Hegseth. My background makes me perfectly suited for this position," end quote. Now, disaster recovery is another key issue for Brown, who referenced lingering impacts from Hurricane Matthew in eastern North Carolina and Hurricane Helene in the western part of the state. He criticized the government-led recovery efforts and said bureaucracy has delayed aid. And now we want to turn to the influx of cold-stunned turtles along our beaches. Roanoke Island Aquarium, again, is reporting a large influx of turtles, 160 to be exact. As I say, they again now have more than 160 turtles at its Sea Turtle Assistance and Rehabilitation Center. Again, that's at the North Carolina Aquarium on Roanoke Island. Now, more than 120 turtles were rescued and brought to the center within just the past week. Cold stunning is a natural event where sound water temperatures quickly drop before the sea turtles can migrate to warmer waters like the Gulf Stream, according to the aquarium. Now, after being rehabilitated, the turtles will be released into warmer waters. Last year was a record year for turtle rescues, according to the aquarium. By this time last year, 576 cold-stunned turtles had been brought to the aquarium in December. And now we want to turn our attention again to the investigation into the plane crash that killed the Biffle family. NBC's Kathy Park is standing by in Statesville.
We are here at the Statesville Regional Airport just north of Charlotte, where an investigation is now underway into the fatal crash that killed 7 people aboard the private Cessna jet yesterday. It happened shortly after 10 o'clock. Officials confirming that there were no survivors, and among the victims, legendary NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and his immediate family. So this included his 2 children, his wife, as well as 3 other individuals. The NTSB is expected to be here today, beginning their investigation, and we should be getting an update at some point today. Meanwhile, there are still a lot of unknowns, like who was flying the aircraft before it crashed and why did the plane turn around shortly after taking off. We heard from witnesses who actually saw the plane flying dangerously low before it crashed on the runway. Take a listen.
All we saw from our point of view was the plane nosedive into the ground, a mushroom-like explosion, and we felt the heat.
And news of this tragedy is hitting the motorsports community hard. Greg Biffle was described as a talented NASCAR driver, but off the track, he was known as a devoted family man with a generous spirit, stepping up in a big way during Hurricane Helene efforts. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast. We've got beautiful sunny skies outside right now, but that is not stopping our air temperatures from actively falling. We're seeing a cold front work its way across the east today. It's what brought in that round of rain last night. Well, it was more than just a round of rain. We had quite a few record rainfall totals above 3/4 of an inch, and that's usually a noticeable event. Regardless, we've got air temperatures right now that are falling as winds are shifting. Right now, we've got 68 degrees in New Bern along the Neuse River, westerly wind at 15 miles an hour. It's going to continue to fall as we head through tonight. Overnight lows dropping down near freezing as we wake up tomorrow morning. Skies will stay clear tonight and through the day tomorrow. Highs going to be about, I would say, 15 degrees cooler than where we ended up today. So again, anticipate a cool down today. We got a little bit warmer than expected as those northwesterly and west northwesterly winds just kind of took their time arriving into the east. That's actually what's cooling us off right now. Here's a look through our pirate cam. Again, 64-degree air temperature, westerly wind at 13 miles an hour. But air temperatures, again, continuing to drop. Earlier today, Greenville, Washington, New Bern, Kinston, we're all at 70 degrees. Now, we do still have some of us still in the low 70s. Oriental, Swan Quarter, and Stumpy Point all coming in at 71, 72, 73 degrees, respectively. Roanoke Rapids, currently the coolest spot on the map at 59 degrees. We know more cold air is going to be rolling in as the wind shift continues. Right now, winds are blowing in at around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Coming up for tomorrow, those winds are going to be a little bit lighter in speed, but overnight tonight, we will maintain at least a west-northwesterly wind. Winds are actually going to be swinging all the way around to the northeast as we wake up Saturday morning, and that's just going to continue to push cold air into the region. We'll wake up around freezing coming up for tomorrow morning because of that consistency with that northerly wind flow. Now, of course, through the day on Saturday, we'll see those winds continue to swing back around, coming in out of the south. That'll indicate another warm up coming up for Sunday. We'll go from the low to mid 50s for the first half of the weekend on Saturday. Turn those low to mid 50s into the low 60s by Sunday afternoon. We are going to be staying sunny for all of it. Here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. 69 degrees today. Again, many of us are seeing that temperature fall as we speak. 53 degrees coming up for tomorrow. So again, a little bit of some separation there from what we saw today to what we've got coming up for tomorrow. 61 on Sunday, 47 on Monday. Now we're going to have a dry front drop its way into the east coming up Sunday night into Monday morning. It will be a dry front, so we will see a little bit of cloud cover roll overhead, but that's going to happen overnight. So most of us are going to not really notice it, but you will notice those air temperatures early Monday morning, low 30s, but then only warming again into the mid to upper 40s. We'll warm up as we head through next week, though. If you're hopeful for some warmer weather for Christmas, we've got it for you. 62 degrees on Christmas Eve, 66 on Christmas Day. Day after Christmas, Friday, looking at 70 under mostly sunny skies. That's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I do want to say hello to Lynn Jones. Thank you so much, Lynn, for joining me over on Facebook. Hopefully you're having a spectacular Friday, and hopefully, of course, all the Christmas shopping is done. Kind of going through my mind of what I need to do next. But as far as news and weather updates, that is all we have time for today, at least for this hour. We will be back coming up at 3 o'clock. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Friday. We'll see you back here in just under an hour.